My name is Summer.
Hey, I'm Rakita.
Hey, it's Johnny.
We are My Sister's Crown. How's everybody doing today?
Great.
Energized. Woo woo. Ready to go.
It's episode number 2. I want to thank you guys thanks the folks who checked out episode number 1. We are excited to continue this journey with you guys as we move forward. This week, I want to actually talk about something that is very near and dear to all of our hearts, which is friendships, maintaining friendships in our 20s, going into our 30s. The first question I have for all of us is, does it seem difficult to maintain genuine friendships, mature friendships in your 20s? What do you guys think? Chandni, I'll start with you.
I don't think it's difficult for myself to maintain. I think it's difficult to make new friends because it's different when you're in high school. You see each other every single day. It's different when you're in college because you're meeting so many different new people, different personalities. But I feel like once you're in the real world, it's like either you have a boyfriend, you stick with your boyfriend, you have a husband, you stick with your husband, or you gravitate towards like your family, or even your coworkers. Like my coworkers now are like my best buds. Like we go out, well not now, well we used to go out, but I just find it difficult to make new girlfriends. Like I've looked at apps where it's like Bumble and Bumble like make friends, but that's weird to go on an app just to make a new friend. I don't know. The only time that I ever came out of my shell to go like really talk to a girl is if I see her wearing something regarding to like Harry Potter, or if I love her hair, or if I love her makeup, her outfit, or even when we used to go to bars, to clubs, before Rona, every girl would, be in the bathroom and be like, hey girl, your outfit's cute. So I would make friends in the bathroom. But in real life, without the liquid courage, I find it a little hard. Because just like,
Yeah. What can we relate to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you, Kita?
I don't have a hard time making new friends. I think it's more about maintaining. For me, being married and having children, especially when you have like single friends, when you're single, I think you move a little differently than when you're married and have children. Like I can't just go out, spontaneously when I can't do that. I have to make plans, have to make sure we have babysitters. So I think for me, it's just maintaining those friendships, because my life is, it hasn't changed completely, but it's a little different, so I need friends who can, respect that and, move along with me as we move along with each other through the friendships. So I think that's the only difficult part for me is dealing with that.
Yeah, that's good. With me, for myself, I think I have trouble with both sometimes. I love conversing with people, as you guys know. I love talking to people. I love getting to know people. But when it comes to maintaining, it seems like for me, as I've gone through my life and I list my friends that have kind of fallen by the wayside, the list just seems so long for me personally. And I've actually had to do some growing with myself to figure out, like, what is it about me that keeps, getting these people that I get so close to, I get so tight-knit with, supposedly. And then within a month or two, they no longer exist in my everyday or every week or, monthly lives. And then the second part, when making new friends, I actually suffer from really bad anxiety. So it'll stop me from doing exactly what you talked about, Chandni, like saying, hey, I like your shirt. Hey, I like your shoes. Oh, you look nice today. Or just opening up that door to just engage with people. So that for me, it is hard. I would love to have more genuine relationships. But it's for me sometimes it feels difficult to keep that going in the way that I like it to. But I'm also looking on myself to figure out what is it about me that has made things difficult for that.
Yeah. I think though, sometimes we think that if we have a lot of friends, looking at the quantity of how many friends we have, and we think that that kind of like validates who we are. But it's not so much about the quantity, it's about the quality of your friends. If you have 2 good friends who are like really decent, 3 good friends that are really decent, then that's what's most important. You don't have to have 10 friends, who are probably not the best, but you can have a good, I heard that all my life, all you need is 1 good friend or 2 good friends, you're going to have throughout your life.
It's true.
Yeah.
I think that we base, I got a bunch of girlfriends, no. But that's not always what's most important,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's something that we all can probably work on.
I think I used to joke with you too when we were in high school. I'd be like, listen, I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. What's worth more?
Yes, that was the same. Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah. I noticed this week on social media there seemed to be this like a trends where people were posting these, these statements. They usually on social media, it feels like people just post statements that all sound alike, but they're not really the same. So the trend seemed to be this week talking about isolating yourself and people needing to understand that it's okay to isolate yourself. Mm-hmm. And I want to hear what you guys think about that. For me, when it comes to isolation, I think it's important. If you're going through something, you can isolate yourself. It's just say, hey, I need a moment where you're not necessarily going out as much as you were. You're not heavy on social media. You're not, you're just really taking time to reflect and think deep and to figure out, meditate, listen to gospel music or whatever it is that calms your spirit, things like that. For me, that's what it means to isolate myself. But that should not equal turning your back on a friend.
Yes.
That I don't like when certain, either where it's your male friends or your guy friends, like, oh, you ghosted me for how long and you decided to just fall off the face of the earth and now you're popping up. Like, your friend could have been going through something. Like,
yeah,
everyone goes through stuff.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, I think that isolation can be healthy and it can be, a little, not healthy, I guess. I think that if you isolate yourself, you should have certain boundaries, like, okay, I'm isolating myself this week. Let me reach out to somebody and tell them, hey, I'm going through this. I need some space. I can't talk right now. I'm going through something really traumatic in my life and I really just need time to myself. I think that sets a healthy boundary. At least someone knows, okay, this person needs space. They're not ignoring me. They're not ghosting me, and it's respectful. It's respectful, because if someone cares about you and they're reaching out to you and, you're ghosting them and ignoring them, what does that say about you? Especially if someone really loves you and cares about you and they're reaching out, it only takes 2 seconds to text back, hey, I'm okay. I'm going through something right now. I'll let you know when I get out of this. But that's how I feel about it. But I understand why people do isolate themselves. Sometimes you just need that personal space to go through whatever it is you're going through.
I'm one of those people that do like to be alone sometimes, and I feel like it's a good quality about me and also sometimes my downfall because I like being alone. I don't mind my own company, but then sometimes I think to myself, like, damn, I need to go out. I need to go, like, hang out with my friends. Like, me time sometimes isn't always the best. Mm-hmm. You need to have that interaction and just see how your friends are doing. So it's always good to reach out to each other at least once in a while. And like sometimes with some of us, we don't reach out to each other for a few weeks, but the love is always still there. We pick back up like nothing has ever changed. So,
and I think it's important to have those friendships and understand, like, every friend you're not going to talk to every day. But if someone's reaching out to you and just saying, hey, how's things going? That could be an opening for them to tell you what's going on with them. They might need you. So for me with ghosting, I think, first of all, I think ghosting's ridiculous. I had a friend who ghosted the hell out of me, and it was extremely traumatic for me because me and her were very, very close. I consider her a sister of mine, and she ghosted me, and we never even had a conversation that where we were able to even understand like what happened. Like I still to this day don't really know what happened. Shorty just like literally just stopped talking to me. Now, do we interact on social media a little, heart eyes and stuff like that? But I literally don't know. So to me, that's not fair either. That's just that to me. If somebody is connected to you in that way and they are really close to you, they consider you a sister. If they tell you their deepest, darkest secrets, and then you just, get off the face of the earth, whether it was a disagreement, whether it was, a misunderstanding, that to me is a sincere violation. It is a violation. I don't like that at all.
I agree with you.
Same. At least give me a reason why we're not going to talk anymore.
Yeah. But I also think on the flip side, something that I always say, it's important not to take things too personal sometimes. Sometimes we take things really, really personal, take it to heart. We make things about us.
Yeah.
It's not talking to me. What did I do? Oh my gosh, they're such a bad friend. And sometimes what they're going through is so much bigger than you.
Yeah.
Like, so much bigger. But on the other side of that, if they were able to express what was going on, then you probably wouldn't have those feelings. But I think it's important that we don't take things so personally all the time. Sometimes you gotta let some stuff go.
See, but then you also have to think too, like, because that's like a domino effect. If you don't, just like your friend, if your friend didn't explain to you why she stopped talking to you, then that set up the next friendship, thinking in your head, like, possibly, I don't know, but it could be for anyone. Like, okay, I'm going to be friends with this person. What if they can do the same thing to me again? So then that can cause reservations for your future relationship too.
Absolutely. It speaking from personal experience, it did for me. It did make me hesitant to get super close or to really trust anybody like that again for a really long time until I think my friendship with Marquita, because to me, that it was just like, to me, it created so much doubt within myself. I had rejection stuff. And obviously it wasn't, me being married or me being in a romantic relationship. But let's not pretend like friendships, really good or really deep friendships, are sometimes just as strong as your relationship. There are called relationships. It's a relationship. So having that, it did affect me. It did affect me a lot. To have that, it was very tough for a while, but I think through the value from having friends like Marquita, and shout out to my friend Champagne, who have kind of stuck with me through me growing as a person, have seen the growth, have helped to push me to grow into a way better person, as well as other mentors of mine. I appreciate of that, and I know now I'm able to understand and realize my worth as a friend. And it wasn't about me. It really wasn't about me. Another thing I wanted to ask you guys was what do you value out of friendships? What would you say is something you value in a friendship?
I think for me, I would say I treat my friends like you're my family. Like if you need something, could be something as small as let me track back. It could be something small as like, hey, can you help me with something like with moving, for example, or something as big as might be a little bit embarrassing, like, hey, I'm tight. Can you spare some money? Like I'm that type of friend where I'm very giving. And once we're cool, like I treat you like my family, I would do anything for you. Like, I would want you to come over and just chill with my family, barbecues, things like that. Like, once you're my friend, I ain't letting you go. You're my family now. So, like, I like my friend to have a lot of family values because I'm super close with my family. So I find that a really endearing quality, especially in my girlfriends and my male friends.
One of my biggest, qualities that I need in friendships is support. I need a friend that is going to support me. You don't necessarily have to agree with me, but I need you to support me. I need you to be honest with me. I need you to be loyal, and again, I think that those are all qualities that you find in families as well.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, some of the things that I've been through with friendships, it was always a lack of support. Here I am being everybody's cheerleader, supporting you, riding out with you. But then when it's my turn, you're nowhere to be found. And that has been something I've struggled with for a long time within, certain friendships. So I think for me, the biggest thing that I need is just someone to be supportive. Again, that doesn't mean you have to agree with everything, that I say or do, but I need you to support me, So that's what's really important to me as far as friendships.
I think it's a blend of what you guys kind of said. For me, is one, it's loyalty. I need you to have my back, which feeds into support. And I need you to know who I am, know me, know who I am. So that means if me and you end up having a misunderstanding, because that's usually what it is, it's a misunderstanding. That you know me enough to know that I am not doing something malicious to you or to somebody. I haven't said anything with malicious intent coming from my heart. So if you know me, you would know that would never be my goal in talking to you, getting to know you, being there for you, whatever. So that to me, I think is an extremely important, not only in friendships, relationships, dealing with family. It's something my mother, in her struggles, she felt that people just didn't really know her to know, like, if she might have slipped and said the wrong adjective or categorize something other than what the person felt comfortable, and people just snap back. It shouldn't happen like that. It shouldn't happen like that. I should be able to express myself, and you should know that I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be, and if it's coming off the way, then explain it to me. But don't just write me off as this particular person or this particular thing.
Yeah.
Which I feel like a lot of people do. I think, Marquita, you had said something the other day about how people, once girlfriends, or it seems like once girlfriends are mad at each other, all of a sudden you're this, you're that. You were never my friend. You were never this. You was always this hateful bitch. You was always this, that, blah, blah, blah. To me, that's not friendship.
A boyfriend or somebody act all types of crazy towards you. You will forgive him a million times.
Oh.
Forgive him a million times, take him a million times back. But your girlfriend, who been there for you, riding out with you,
through the heartache,
through the hard things, your girlfriend do one thing, say one bad thing, and you don't want to deal with her for the rest of your life. Why?
But your boyfriend go ahead and cheat on you, talk to you all sideways, but then your girlfriend that had to hear about all this bullshit also had to sit there and have your back through all this stuff. And then you go back to him when you ask your girlfriend for advice, but then when you and your girlfriend have something, a little tip between the two of you, you're like, I'm gone. You know what I mean?
That's I don't understand that. I don't get that. Having a friend is just so important. And we love our men, we love our husbands, we love them, but I don't know what I would do if I didn't have my best friend by my side, do everything. Like, I don't know what I'd do. I'm not going to just, forget about every single thing that my friend has done for me because they pissed me off one day. Like, come on, grow up.
Yeah.
Like, we can agree to disagree.
Yeah, agree to disagree. That's what adults do.
Like, I appreciate it, especially when I talk to you, Marquita, and like, that's why I ask you, like, tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me it's okay.
If I had $1 for every time somebody texts me that, I'd be rich.
I'm like, tell me, let me know.
Yeah, y'all my girls. I love y'all. For real.
What should I reply?
There's gonna be a lot of editing. Woo! I was about to drop a word.
Yeah, I was about to say something, but then if someone hears this video, then they're gonna know that, you know, it's pertaining to a specific person.
See, this is why we should start off with these topics.
Gets us pumped.
Yeah, it's like woo, you know.
Woo. Yeah.
These topics can take up the whole podcast.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
So speaking of girlfriends, have
Yeah.
you guys ever had a girlfriend like ask you for advice, but then they listen to you, but then they do the exact opposite, and then a few months later they come back to you, ask you for the same advice, and then again do the same shit that you told them not to do?
Well, yeah, I've been that girlfriend. I mean, you know, especially, you know.
No. It's different when we're a little bit older, though. Like a younger, yeah, we all did it. We all did it. It's different. We all did it when we were younger. We're old now. We're all in our mid to late 20s now. It was just like, it gets tiring after a while. It's not like a broken tape recorder. Like,
it's like, come on, we done been down this road a million times. I can't spell it out to you any differently, you know.
At a certain point, you gotta. I think I had to learn how to just say, okay, what do you want to do?
Yes.
Because, you know, at this point, it feels like we're at a place, like you said, we're in our late 20s, going into our 30s. People are building what can be more permanent situations. Not always, but they can be more permanent situations with relationships, kids, and things like that. So at the end of the day, you know, there's lots of things that have to be considered with certain decisions, whether you break up with the guy you're living with or have kids with or whatever. So that's why I asked you, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
What do you want to do? You know, not just 5 minutes from now, but a month from now, what do you want your life to look like? And what are you willing to do?
What are you willing to put up with? That's really
sometimes I look at myself in the mirror and I reenact that scene from The Notebook, and I'm like, Ryan Gosling, what do you want? You know what I mean? So it'll be all right.
I could talk about my growth or you know, something I've been trying to work on for myself. I was I think around like 17, 18, I was always known as the girl who just said whatever. I think I'm still kind of that girl, but I'm learning how to dial it back in a way that is not as coarse. I was always seen as this coarse chick that just said whatever. I was blunt, and I took it. I held it on my chest, and I'm learning through therapy. I go to therapy every week now, and I'm learning that it was obviously a defense mechanism, you know, and things like that. But for me, I was always that girl who just said stuff. And I had a friend who was in a terrible relationship, and I got frustrated that she kept allowing herself to be demeaned in a way that I felt that was less than what she deserved. And I felt like I needed to tell her how it made her look. But in no way was there any love in my statements. Nowhere was there any, you know, support. I wasn't like, you know, if you're rocking it, I'm rolling. If you know, whatever, at the end of the day, what you want to do, I support whatever you decide to do. I wasn't doing any of that. I was just, I literally went off. And I didn't talk to her for 3 years. Like, not really anymore. We actually rekindled around the time I got married, but I always feel bad about that. I think whenever I think about it, I always text her and I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, because she has, besides Marquita, has the biggest heart of any person I've ever met in my entire life. She will literally give you every last cent in her bank account. And for me, while there was truth in what I was saying, there wasn't any love in it. And I think when you have friendships, you need to make sure that you are speaking with love, speaking with respect. Speaking, you have to talk to people with respect. You can tell them the blunt, honest truth.
Yep.
But you have to be respectful. You cannot demean people when you're trying to help them, because who the F wants to hear that? Who wants to hear how stupid, how dumb they're looking when they're already sad? They don't want to hear that. And I had to learn that. That was something I had to learn. I lost a lot of friendships because of myself. I can easily admit that.
It's good that you can admit that, though, Dom.
Yeah.
You wanna know what's funny? You also sound like me a little bit too, but I was that way, but not with friendships though, in relationships, where I would be extremely blunt to the point where I would get so angry that I would say something hurtful that I know I didn't mean, but it still came out of my mouth because I didn't think before I spoke.
Mm-hmm.
So same thing, like now that we're getting older, like we're starting to think a little bit differently. So I try to think before I speak, or even if I get angry, I'm like, okay, leave me alone for a little bit. Let me collect my thoughts, and then we'll have a conversation. Because like for me, everyone's different, but if I'm angry and we're having an argument, I can't talk to you right then and there. I need to collect my thoughts. I need to think about what I'm going to say. I need to think about why I'm angry and why whatever's going on is agitating me. Then I'll come back in a cool, calm, collective state and then have that conversation. Because we're going to talk right then and there. F-bombs are going to be thrown. Things are going to be said that you didn't mean. So that's something, as getting older, you have to realize and understand the things that you say can really be hurtful, and it can stick with people for a long time. So
Piggyback off of what Don was saying, I think sometimes we become so emotionally invested into other people's lives that we get angry. If I love you like a sister and you're going through something that I feel like you don't need to be going through, then of course I'm gonna get angry. I'm gonna get upset, because at the end of the day, I got your back. I don't want to see you going through what you're going through. But Dom, I can understand how you would feel like that if you loved her in that way. You don't want to see her going through stuff, and sometimes people can't see what we see from the outside. You gotta let them go through stuff. That's why it is important to make sure when you are giving advice that it's always out of love. And personally for me, I always try to give people grace, because we all need it, So I can understand why you would be angry and upset, Not saying that, probably what you said was right, but I can understand the emotion behind it.
You probably was right, but it could have just been said in a little nicer way.
Actually, a little different.
OD. I do remember that. I was, I know how I would feel if somebody I loved started talking to me that way. And whether it was the truth or not, it didn't matter. We have to talk to each other with love. And I think that's something lost. Whether it's because of social media, nobody is being face to face. Everybody's just typing words or typing feelings, texting. And maybe that creates like this barrier where you're forgetting that it's a human being you're talking to, somebody with emotions. We forget, it's like we have blinders on when it comes to other people's trauma. Like there are things I think we can all think about as we go, when we think about our childhood, things that were said to us that the person probably didn't realize was that big of a deal, but probably stuck with us as we go through life. So
absolutely. But a lot of people don't even understand they dealing with trauma. They're just walking around. That's why it's so easy to hurt people, say whatever they want.
All right, I wanted to give a very quick thing I found interesting about coronavirus. It was posted by one of my favorite pastors, Pastor Marquise Johns. He found it off of a website, so I'm not giving full credit. But I did find this very interesting, and so I want to share it with all of you. if you look at this chart really quick, it says coronavirus riskiest activities, according to the 500 epidemiologists and health professionals. These activities are deemed as low risk. The risk can be reduced by of course, wearing a mask, social distancing, and washing your hands frequently. So taking out, ordering takeout, outdoor exercise. I'm guessing they say tennis. I'm guessing it's because of the space in between playing with other people. It's obviously more than 6 feet. Getting gas, golfing because of the spacing, camping outside, spacing. Your friend can use your bathroom, obviously clean afterwards. Older kid play dates are okay. Just keep, do the, proper things. Social distance when necessary. Play, wash your hands, wash their hands. Keep them from, sticking their fingers in their nose and touching each other. We have gone to the beach, grocery shopping, outdoor dining, and things like that. If you guys can see all the other things deemed as low risk. Next is medium risk. Medium risk is staying at a hotel, small backyard barbecues. Small backyard barbecues are due to, the cross-touching of utensils. That sometimes can be very contaminated because people, touch everything, and, plates fall and things like that. So it can be dangerous. Public pools, exercising in a gym, playing basketball because of the intimacy, and obviously an airplane. Again, all the other things. It has eating at a restaurant, but I see a lot of places, especially around here, have, kind of made their parking lots into these eateries. So that's a beautiful thing. Now, if we look at the high risk chart. All right, here's the high risk chart. Hugging and shaking hands. We shouldn't be hugging or shaking hands with people that aren't in our immediate family. Some people, you see family members that you know, and then you're just like, oh, well, I'm just going to give you a hug. We really should the pandemic is still not over, people. We need to stay vigilant, please. Stop, don't stop wearing a face mask because you yourself you don't feel like you have contacted, you have corona. There are a lot of people that are asymptomatic. Obviously, a little buffet. And unfortunately, my fellow churchgoers, as someone who has gone to church almost every single weekend since the day she was born, we miss it. But it's just not where the cards are right now. We have to be smart. There are so many people that are streaming online, different services. Some of my favorite pastors are preaching online. Please, Facebook Live, YouTube, Instagram, podcast, they are everywhere, please. And the most at risk is going to a nightclub. Shout out to Florida, because what other state was opening nightclubs during a pandemic? Shout out to Florida. That's it. That's all I got. Guys, please wear a mask. Please wash your hands. Stay vigilant. Weather's getting warm. I myself have gone to a couple barbecues. While they have been outside, we keep ourselves distance. We stay with just our family. We don't really mingle as much as say we would if it wasn't during a pandemic. But just stay vigilant, guys. Stay vigilant. Do not get lazy. Do not get forget that it's a pandemic. Please.
Don't be selfish. Be selfless.
Yeah.
Don't think that wearing a mask is only for your protection. Think about other people around you. Think about your parents. Think about your grandparents. Think about that friend that has asthma. You know what I mean? So be selfless.
Yeah, which is probably hard for a lot of us to do, especially this generation, because everything's about self.
I'm sorry, Mercury. What?
No, it wasn't nothing important. I was just adding on to you.
My grandmother actually has stage 4 cancer, and one of them, I have several, has stage 4 cancer, unfortunately, and my mom takes care of her pretty frequently. And my mom has been doing pretty well in regards to social distancing, because she was saying when this first happened, she's like, Dom, I could never forgive myself if I gave her coronavirus.
Yeah.
I'm already driving from Jersey to Maryland. Like, I could never forgive myself. So that's something, you have to remember. It's not like exactly what Chandni said. It's not about you. It's about.
And it's not political. Like, please, like, these people think that it's all political with the mask crap. Just be selfless. Like, can we all think about each other for once and not ourselves? Like, come on, if we all do this together, we can enjoy our summer. When the holidays come around, we can enjoy our holidays and then come back together. It's just 1 year out of everyone's lives, or a few months out of everyone's lives, that we all need to come together and beat this coronavirus.
Mm. If we do this right, Christmas is gonna be lit.
Mm-hmm.
Lit.
We'll just do a redo on New Year's Eve 2020. We'll be ready for 2021. Reset it.
Woo. All right. That's all I had. Chandni, what financial gems do you have for our listeners?
So my financial gem for today is creating a budget plan. So I have a list here, just key points of what you guys can do. So first plan would be note your income. So I have a planner. So I write down each month how much I'm bringing in per month. I write down what I'm spending per month. So that's the second thing. Third thing would be is track your bills. And fourth would be create a plan or goal for the month or week, how much you want to save, track down how much you are spending on nonsense things. So I would make a spreadsheet to deduct all your bills first, then deduct all of the things that you're spending on miscellaneous purchases, like streaming services, gas for the week, groceries for the week. And I know a lot of us go to work or are working from home. Some of us are going to Dunkin' every morning. Some of us are going to Starbucks every morning for that coffee. But you have to think, I'm going to do a little math for you. It might be a little bit boring, but if you get coffee 5 times a week, so let's say, for example, that's $5. I'm going to Starbucks, getting that caramel macchiato every day, or that double shot espresso, with a splash of skim milk. So that's $5 every day. So 5 times 5 is what? 25. If you do that every week for the month, 25 times 4 is what? 100. If you times that by how many months are in a year? 12. If you times 12 by 100, what do you get? 1,200. So you have to think, that's $1,200 you're spending just on coffee in the morning, when that could be a partial mortgage payment, that can be a partial rent payment, that could be your vacation money, that can be that tattoo you always been wanting to get, that whole sleeve. Hey, that's money for everyone that I don't even know, that big thing that you always been wanting to get, that TV, that surround sound system that you always wanted to get. If you stop getting coffee and just bought some coffee and made it home for yourself, you can save that money. So my tip is create a budget plan, know what you're spending your money on, and know that where your money is going. Because a lot of times now we have that debit card. I know in the old school days, our parents would write checks. I don't write a check anymore. None of us write checks. You don't track what you're spending your money on. So using that card, you can go and swipe, 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 and you don't know where your money's going at. And then you're like, oh, it's almost payday. Damn, I got to get McDonald's on because I don't have enough money to eat. So let's create a budget plan, guys. Create a goal just for the week. How much money do I want to save for this week? How much money do I want to save for the month? So just create a plan. Create a budget plan. Stop spending money at Starbucks.
Hey.
I need to repent because I love me some Dunkin'. Woo! I called every texter. I need a coffee. These kids getting on my nerves. I need a coffee.
Listen, I like Starbucks and I like Dunkin' too, but what I've been doing myself is getting them big coffees in the morning, or not in the morning, or like at the grocery store, and then I'll make my own little concoction in the morning.
And I have a coffee maker, and we don't use it. I don't get it.
See, no, all of us just like the fact that someone is crafting your coffee for you.
Oh my goodness. Amen. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
But it's just small sacrifices that you gotta make if you want to save for something big, and you gotta think of the grand scheme. Like, damn, $1,200 is a lot of money.
Yeah, it is. When you think about if you say coffee, when you think about coffee, $1,200 is a lot of money on coffee. A lot of money on coffee. Oh my god. All right. So that was great. I suck at budgeting. My mom tells me all the time that I should just hand my paycheck over to my husband and allow him to budget because this man never doesn't have money. And whatever. I don't care. I'm a working woman.
But guys are different though. They don't spend their money the way that we do.
No, they don't.
We spend money on clothes. We spend money on makeup. Like, I love shoes. I love sneakers. Like,
Yeah.
but then I gotta reel myself back in because I'm like, damn, I'm in the finance field. Like, I can't be spending money like it's freaking water.
Yeah.
I gotta lead by example.
Yeah.
I didn't realize tampons and pads are an essential. They should be tax-free.
Oh, 100%. Especially the organic ones and not that crap that can give you that, what is it called? The toxic syndrome?
Or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is milk tax-free?
No.
Oh.
I don't think so.
Shouldn't it be? What's tax-free? There's food that's tax-free, right?
No.
Whatever. I don't care. What jewels do you have for the folks?
All right. So for
no.
today's jewel for the crown, I want to talk about people pleasing. And to start off, I have an article from Psychology Today titled 10 Signs You're a People Pleaser. So the first sign is you pretend to agree with everyone. Number 2, you feel responsible for how other people feel. Number 3, you apologize often. Number 4, you feel burdened by the things you have to do. Number 5, you can't say no. Number 6, you feel uncomfortable if someone is angry with you. Number 7, you act like the people around you, so you take on other people's characteristics and personalities. Number 8, you need praise to feel good. Number 9, you go to great lengths to avoid conflict. And number 10, you don't admit when your feelings are hurt. So I was looking at that list and I was like, yeah, I got a good 5.
Yeah.
And, for me personally, for a long time, I struggled with being a people pleaser. Even today, I still have some struggles in small areas of my life where I want to people please. I know for a very long time, I would go to great lengths to make anyone I cared about, make them happy. Even if that happiness that I was giving them made me feel exhausted and made me feel depleted. And it's just not a good thing. You don't want to give so much of yourself that you have nothing left for yourself, and it's just something that it's something that I'm still working on, because I think we're all created to love. We want to make people feel good. We want to feel good. We want to be liked. And I think that at the root of being a people pleaser is just approval and validation, seeking that in all the wrong areas. And really at the end of the day, in my opinion, I believe that the only one that we should be praising and pleasing is God. I feel that people will drain you. They'll take everything out of you trying to make them happy. But when you are pleasing God, when you are worshiping Him, when you know that you have His approval, it doesn't leave you feeling exhausted. It doesn't leave you feeling depleted. It doesn't leave you feeling unworthy. It just doesn't. That's not, God adds to your life where people will just take from it.
You can say that again.
Yeah, and that's something that I've personally experienced. And I want to encourage everybody who's listening right now, your reality of, people's reality of, their opinions of you, their judgments, and whatever it may be. It doesn't have to be your reality. You can't make everyone happy. You can't please everybody. It's not your job. You're the savior. There's only one. We cannot make everyone happy. And a lot of times the expectations that people put on us, they can't even uphold for themselves. They can't, so I think, and I'm encouraging myself with that too. We can't make everybody happy. And again, I think the only person that we should be pleasing is God. Because again, he's not going to leave us feeling exhausted. He's not going to take away from us. He's going to add to our lives. So if I can say anything, everybody just work on being a people pleaser. Be a God pleaser.
That was beautiful.
I didn't even say half of what I wanted to say.
That was great. What are you talking about?
God. Woo! I want to thank everybody for joining us on episode 2 of My Sister's Crown. Please like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at My Sister's Crown, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and download our podcast. We are now on Apple and Spotify, working on the podcast as well. So please follow us. Please like our pages. Please comment. Please, anything you have to share, anything you would like us to discuss. If you want to be a guest, we're not picky. We're not anybody. We're not important at all. Please just let us know. We will add you in. This is Zoom. Anybody can join. So please let us know. We love you. Anybody have anything else to say?
Bye. I love you guys. Thanks everybody who is tuning in. We appreciate everyone in their constructive criticism. Again, what Dom said, anything you guys want us to talk about, we love to talk about it. And I just want to thank everybody. I thank everybody for their support, and I love you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching us. Thank you for sharing with your family, your friends. Just thank you for tuning in and listening. We're just 3 girls. Dom had an idea, and we're trying to bring it to fruition, and we just appreciate all your support. Just like Marquita and Dom said, if you got an idea, a topic you want us to talk about, if you want to join, if you have any criticism, please feel free. Help us, make this better. You guys watching us, it helps us grow, and we'll make things better for the future. So we just really appreciate your support and you guys watching and listening.
I'm going to shout off for that. So thanks, guys, again. This is episode 2 of My Sister's Crown. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. We'll see you all again soon. Bye.